Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? My name is Afreen. I am from the Regional Innovation and Digital team. And as you are aware, we have been hosting these learning sessions for country offices so that they can learn from each other, how our country offices are championing on certain initiatives, specifically on innovation and digital. That is what we do. Last time in March, we met with UNDP Cambodia and Myanmar, where they shared their journey of portfolios. This was more on dynamic management and how this helped cross-team collaboration. This session for us is very special because it's slightly different. It is not all UNDP, but it is UNDP plus our government partner on portfolios. And today what we are going to learn is how Dhangadhi Sub-Metropolitan City and our colleagues at UNDP Nepal have managed to work together towards a long-term objective on green transition at city level. More specifically, what are you going to learn from this webinar is an exciting experience sharing and a journey of how portfolios can be a mechanism for the municipality to articulate the city's vision and strategy and steer the partners towards one direction. And secondly, how portfolios can also be a vehicle for the government to mobilize and coordinate partners who support with strategic thinking and implementation. So it is not just a UNDP journey, but it's a UNDP plus a local government journey. So it keeps getting more interesting. On our panel today, we have two champions. One is our champion from UNDP. We have our deputy resident representative. Julian, and on the other side, we also have our mayor of Dhangadhi Sub-Metropolitan City, His Excellency Mr. Gopal Hamal. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Without much ado, maybe I can pass on to Julian with the first question, maybe, and this is going to be a ping pong way in which I'm going to ask one question to Julian and I'm going to ask another to Honorable Mayor. So everyone knows that...
Namaste, namaste.
Okay.
Namaste, Mayor sir. How are you?
Fine, I'm fine.
Thank you. I'm not sure whether you remember, we met a few months ago in Bangkok, and I had the privilege to interview you that time as well.
Oh.
Thank you. So for everyone here, His Excellency Mayor Gopal Hamal is actually a very committed, dedicated mayor who is actually behind the Green, Clean, Bright, Safe Dhangadhi mission. So we are going to be hearing, Julian and Honorable Mayor together. So maybe quickly getting on to Julian. Julian, the first question to you. Tell us about this journey. What made you choose the green transition portfolio, and especially what made you choose working with Dhangadhi City? A bit of maybe looking at the history of why you started working on this. Over to you.
Sure. So first, thank you for this opportunity to share on this journey, which has relatively recently started with the Dhangadhi Municipality, and thanks to the mayor for joining us. So first, let me say UNDP Nepal. So we are one of the first to actually have signed a portfolio document. We actually have two portfolios in the country office. One is more broadly on the implementation of federalism, and we work a lot with local governments also through that other portfolio. And the one we're discussing today is specifically with Dhangadhi Municipality. So I think you all know what portfolios are about. It's about addressing complex challenges, and a number of country offices in UNDP have been kind of practicing the portfolio approach for a few years, but the actual instruments to do that in UNDP have only been introduced last year. So that's where maybe we can share a little bit on our journey. So for us, we have about only 6 months in terms of actually implementing the instrument. We have about 6 months experience, but it's been a longer journey, about 1 year, 1.5 years in terms of coming to this stage. Some of the things I'd like to mention that are a bit particular about the way we go about it here in Cambodia. One is that we're trying to connect our two portfolios, because we work with Dhangadhi Municipality, but also we have that other portfolio on local governance and federalism. So the idea is to learn, for example, through our work with Dhangadhi, but then also to share those learnings and expand that to our broader work at subnational level in Nepal. And also the ambition is to go ultimately in the medium term with what we call a portfolio of portfolios. So again, using Dhangadhi as an initial, let's say, test case, but then so that this could then inform the way UNDP engages with municipalities, especially on green transition, because it's the focus of our work with Dhangadhi in the future. So maybe just a couple points on the learnings we've had so far. I think colleagues are familiar with the portfolio approach. No, please go back. I think colleagues are familiar with the portfolio approach, so we agree on broad objectives and shifts. We also agree to be flexible and to adapt in the way we manage the portfolio. And also something that's new with the introduction of the recent introduction of the policy is that we can have different implementation modalities to actually implement this portfolio. Overall, I'd say the experience has been very positive so far. Of course, it's a big learning curve for everybody involved, but we've been able to move, I would say, relatively smoothly with both of our portfolios. Actually, it requires for staff to embrace the process. There's new practices that come, of course, with portfolio implementation. So it requires open minds in the country office and beyond, actually, also with our partners. But also the fact that we've been an early adopter, probably, we've been receiving really extensive support both from the regional and the global level. So I wanted to mention that we've had that support when we needed it. So maybe I'll stop here, I think, for this first round.
Thank you. Maybe maybe I can also ask the second question together. So maybe it makes sense for for asking the series of questions to you, Julian, and then we can go with a series of questions for Honorable Mayor. Maybe I can jump on to the second question on how do you think it is different from the way we engage with partners in a typical UNDP project? Since you are an early adopter after the portfolio policy launch, a lot of country offices have been through this journey. But your experience specifically, because you have two portfolios, how do you think this one is different, the way we engage with partners?
UNDP is an international organization and we are learning so many things. For example, we have a super project, we have a Hello Mayor project, and the various projects that we have about the solid waste, and we are very much trusted with the UNDP partnership. It is really working well. We are learning so many learnings, and then based on that learning, we are able to provide the service delivery to the public within our municipality. Staff, the elected representatives, capacity is also building, and then we are having a very good learnings. And then because of the right evaluation of the previous work, we are very much interested and dedicated to work with UNDP.
Julian, back to you on the question of how do you think you are doing it differently with partners in Nepal.
So yes, maybe I can mention, and I think we had a slide kind of on the timeline just to illustrate this a little bit. To show you a little bit the journey and the engagement journey that we've had. So it started early last last year, and we initially started as an internal exercise because we had a lot of interventions with subnational governments, but a little bit disjointed. So some interventions were more on the environmental side, on waste management, for example. So some interventions more on the local governance side and implementation of federalism in Nepal. So we first started with an internal exercise to really see what our own priorities were, what types of expertise and capacities and priorities we had internally. So this was the first, and how we wanted to approach these challenges that local governments face with a more systemic approach. So this was the first element. And we had also a country office sense-making workshop around those issues. Then what we did was an initial rapid assessment of mapping of our engagement with local governments at that point. And this is where Dhangadhi came up because of the leadership of the mayor and his team, and the vision, the very clear vision that the municipality had, especially on the green transition. And also, of course, because UNDP already had some elements of engagement with the municipality, and we had a sense that we could work well with that municipality and with the leadership that was there. Then what we did is we also, very much in the spirit of the portfolio approach, we implemented we agreed with the municipality on some pilot interventions. So already starting engaging stakeholders in the municipality, surveys with citizens, initial pilot activities related, for example, to nature-based solution with ponds for resilience, related to circular economy and green jobs related to circular economy, to also start to learn and to have some quick inputs on what could and also the things that maybe would not work in the context of Dhangadhi. And then on the back of that, we had this joint visioning workshop with the municipality and with key stakeholders at municipal level, so that we could align our thinking, our priorities, based also on the information we had collected from the pilots and from the surveys of the citizens. And that led to then a portfolio design exercise and sense-making workshop with the municipality, where we also engaged one of our donors, Norway. So they're not directly funding the portfolio, but they've expressed some interest in learning about the portfolio approach. So that's also something we try to do, to bring donors along, even if they are not directly involved at this stage, to potentially build partnerships also in the medium term. And then we signed an MOU with the mayor to basically cement the joint intent. And then we actually designed the joint interventions together. So the two teams, UNDP, the municipality team, designed the joint interventions in more detail. And also at that point, we looked at co-financing commitments. So some activities are funded by the municipality, some activities are funded by UNDP. And now we're just in the first few months of implementation of this portfolio. So over to you, Afrin.
Thanks, Julian. It's very interesting to hear, the way you are managing the joint interventions. Also very interesting to see it's not always funding that we are looking at from partners. Also, sometimes it is engagement and having them as observers that is valuable to get them interested to engage with the municipality. And most important element that I have heard from you just now is also this co-financing, right? So generally, when we do these projects on the ground, we are always expected to get donors and funding, and the government always would be, towards the in-kind collaboration and support. But here is a co-finance model, which is really the the next route of the development sector of how we can actually have sustained development interventions. So good to know about the approaches. I'm sure country offices on the call are picking up on this intel. But maybe I can ask you the next question on moving forward. See, we understood that there's a history behind it. We also understood there is dynamic management on not just financing but also on partnerships and joint interventions that you do together. Moving forward, I'd love to hear more on what is it that you have decided on how you'd be working together with DSMC going forward, the teams that are working together. How does UNDP set of teams engage with multiple departments within Dhangadhi city? Meetings, governance, all these things that are day-to-day programming. It's not very easy to learn this generally, but it is obviously iterative. But we'd love to hear from your experience and what you plan to do.
So in terms of management arrangements, we've basically, building on what I just mentioned about the process. So what we have is a formal decision-making process, which is led by the municipality and then with UNDP leadership. So we have a portfolio management committee, and we also have a portfolio implementation committee. And the mayor himself is very involved in both. And so those meet regularly and supervise the work. They also provide guidance to the team, and they will approve any changes to the approach. So that's kind of the joint, let's say, decision-making approach. And then the same applies at the implementation level. So the implementation teams are fully integrated. So for each activity or intervention, you have designated focal points from the municipality and designated focal points from UNDP. We work together on implementation. So it's fully integrated. It's not just, dividing the tasks and one partner goes and does one thing and the other partner goes and does another thing. It's really working together on implementation of each intervention.
Thanks, Julian. It is truly inspiring to see how we are working as one team with DSMC, and also to note on how you plan more sustainable governance structure. So obviously you are not going to limit yourself to Dhangadhi alone, right? So this is probably one of your proof of concepts. So we'd love to hear from you on what are your plans beyond Dhangadhi. So of course this becomes the first of the many, but we'd love to hear about how UNDP Nepal plans to scale this across the country.
Okay, so yeah, this goes back to what I mentioned earlier. So I think there's two pathways to scale for us, I think. One is the fact that we work on the implementation of federalism, and we work a lot, for example, with local government associations. We want to, the first thing I should say is we want to focus on getting this partnership right with the Dhangadhi municipality. So that's going to be our immediate focus in the short term. We don't want to jump the gun. We want to make sure that this works and that we learn from this partnership before we scale. But the plan is to systematically share our learnings through, and you can see here basically the architecture for our two portfolios. And how the Dhangadhi portfolio, which is on the left, will feed into the type of cross-learning that we're trying to promote across local governments. We have 753 local governments in Nepal. Of course, Dhangadhi is one of the larger municipalities. So we're going to use this, what we call the PLGSP portfolio, the federalism portfolio, to disseminate those learnings and have, packages or types of interventions that can be replicated in other local governments. But also we have this portfolios ambition to work in the medium term with selected municipalities, probably similar scale and size as Dhangadhi municipality. So let's say at least few 100,000 population, on not doing exactly the same thing, obviously, but learning from the Dhangadhi experience and then applying that framework, especially on green transitions in other municipalities in the country. So of course, this will depend also on availability of funding, and we all know that the development finance environment is getting more and more constrained these days. But also, we hope to leverage some innovative sources of financing. And for example, here in Nepal, we also part of a pilot with ADB on urban portfolio. So it's a relatively small initiative at the moment, but we're going to use this pilot with ADB in the context to support what we're doing in the context of Dhangadhi. And then that's one example where we hope to work with partners, in this case, in the medium term, a multilateral development bank, to possibly scale up this approach. Over to you.
Thank you, Julian. I think, we really like this approach of not jumping the gun and going to scale, but taking some time to learn and do deeper interventions with now looking at more, urban green transformation portfolio that you're looking at. Maybe now, since we have learned a lot from you, on how we look at it from UNDP side, maybe we can turn to Honorable Mayor side. Namaste, Gopal Hamalji. So first question to you is, we know you as a very dynamic, transformative leader, and we know that you have been behind, the vision of having green, clean, bright, and safe Dhangadhi. So my first question to you is, what do you think? Why have you taken up this approach and chosen this journey of portfolios to completely transform
Yes, he's audible.
Dhangadhi? So a bit of
Yes,
what you have
I'm
thought
hearing.
behind setting this vision and portfolios for Dhangadhi. Over to you.
Well, this is a very new approach, and we are very excited and very energized to work because we had a prior experience working with UNDP. And with UNDP, whatever work UNDP has initiated with us, we had a very satisfactory result before this. So that is already a learning opportunity for us. So the portfolio approach we are adopting, we are also very excited that this will become a very exemplary, and the people from other municipality will come to our city to learn, and we are very eager to teach them. With that eagerness, we are excited and very happy to initiate the portfolio modality.
How is this different to the way other organizations engage with DSMC? You work with so many stakeholders and so many partners in the city. So how is this approach different, the way you are engaging with UNDP?
Well, the uniqueness and the difference of our partnership is UNDP has also realized our needs, and they have welcomed and incorporated our innovations, our ideas. They have endorsed our ideas and the needs. That's why we are very much confident that it will bring the result. Otherwise, what will happen? The partnership only have a one-side plan, and that will lack the ownership. But here it's very different because we are planning on the need base of the Dhangadhi. So what we are confident is, as long as UNDP will support us, we are very much thankful. But then we will be able to take this forward for a long run, even though one day UNDP will not be there. That's why we want to scale up what we have initiated. For that, the plannings are on the basis of need. So the most thing I like about the UNDP partnership is they will take our concerns. They are seriously addressing and endorsing our issues. Not only that, we both respect each other, because we have a tendency that if the donor is giving anything, the partners will receive anything, whether that is needed or not. But that is, that is spreading as a disease or sometimes even as a pandemic. So that's where not gonna work, because the donor's money is going to be wastage, and then it will not bring any impact in the long run. That's why here it is very different. The donors are giving on the basis of need, recognizing our priority. That's why.
I'm going to use this phrase for probably the next learning, a series of learning sessions, which is donor-based funding approach is spreads like pandemic if you do not make the best utilization of resources. So thank you so much, Gopalji, you were able to, give that insight. Also, this whole idea of you working like one team with UNDP colleagues on needs-based
Thank you.
interventions is absolutely valuable. This is more, we would literally say this is more foresight approach that you're saying tomorrow UNDP may or may not be there, but you'd like to make sure that you are, you are scaling and sustaining the intervention and the learnings remain, and as a coherent part of your journey. So thank you so much for those insights. Those generally don't come from mayors, but it is
धन्यवाद यहाँहरु यहाँहरुलाई पनि धन्यवाद छ
amazing to hear that from you. So maybe the next question, more unpacking on
thank you sir
how your team, how your team plans to work together with UNDP team to work more collaboratively. This is more on, on day-to-day working, because this is what, if we share this recording with another mayor, not just from Nepal, but from any other country, would love to know on how, how there are cross-team collaborations, how there is capacity building, not just few human, resources addition in your team, but also more coherent capacity building, more immersive capacity building. So would love to know from you on how are the two teams of UNDP and DSMC working together? Over.
Well, regarding this, our team has set a goal from the very beginning that Dhangadhi would like to be established as a learning center for the country, a learning center for the country. Because in the long run, it's not complete that the Dhangadhi become capital. All the local municipality should be able to learn from us. With the partnership from UNDP, Dhangadhi should be the learning hub for us, so that even people from different municipalities should be able to come, learn, inspire, and adapt. Even now, many municipalities are coming to Dhangadhi to learn from us. That is our prolonged goal, that we would like to establish this as a learning center for rest of the municipalities. So talking about the effectiveness, how to make it more team effective. So we are connecting public, because we are connecting public with this, and we would like to engage our public on this. So because ultimately what we require is the public ownership, because municipality ownership itself is not sufficient. That's why we want to make it public owned. Then only it will become sustained and remain impactful.
You, especially now that you have literally, outlined on learn, inspire, and adapt, I'd like to also go back to our UNDP colleagues who are listening to this, that if you are working with city leaders, this whole idea of, bottom-up approach that is being adopted by UNDP Nepal and DSMC is worth learning from, on see how there is policy coherence, how there are teams, the dynamic management on teams working together as one team, and how, the mayor is also thinking about scalability element. So I think this whole adaptive governance, angle is so clearly, translating into action here, in the city. Maybe one last question before we break, into Q&A, because I'm sure there are a lot of questions from the audience here. For you, what is your vision to engage with other partners? Yes, I asked you the question on what is your vision, and how you've managed to engage with UNDP as differently. But now speaking about other partners, what is your vision to engage with other partners? We'd love to hear from you. Over.
So what we have done is we have clearly outlined our priorities. We have outlined our priority, and whoever partner are interested to choose whatever area, because not everyone is equal. But what we are doing is, what difference between past and now is, previously the donor or the partners used to bring the planning, but now what difference is, we are making our planning. It's not completed, but we are putting our effort. That what we are doing is, we have a goal, and who can fit where in our goal, where UNDP can fit, where other donor agency can fit. Whoever has, fit as per our goal and plan, and if anything that is outside of our priority, we are not accepting them. Yes, UNDP is taking lead in one, UNDP is initiating partnering in one, but uh, others are taking in others. But if there are multiple partners in one common goal or one project, we are welcoming them. But uh, with the multiple partners also we can move ahead. But the main thing is that, as per our goal, wherever partner fits, we will welcome them.
Thank you so much. So this is probably, portfolio coming from a mayor's voice. Exactly the same, approach that we generally apply as UNDP. Is we identify, of course, a common goal, and then we try to mobilize partners. Here, I think he has the liberty, to take decisions on which partner contributes what part of it. So this whole idea of making best use and leveraging the current assets, the current initiatives with stakeholders on the ground, and helping amplify the voices of the stakeholders and efforts of the stakeholders to achieve the shared goals. I think this is beautifully narrated by Honorable Mayor. So thank you so much for sharing about this whole journey. Maybe I can now open Q&A session for audience to please key in your questions. Please feel free to raise your hands and unmute yourself to speak. So maybe I can... Sorry, colleagues, let me know if you have questions, because I have a long list of questions. I don't mind quickly asking one, one for Honorable Mayor. So, Gopal Hamalji, my question to you is, if you were to, advise other mayors of what DSMC is doing differently, and what is it that they should be learning from you, what it would be?
The first thing I would like to say is, they need to set the goal. They should have a clear vision. And that goal need to be determined based on the public need and the public demand, which is missing in many municipalities. I would like to ask always, where do we want to reach in 5 years, 10 years, and 15 years? You need to set your clear goal or the clear vision. Once you have set clear goal, then it's easy. Otherwise, okay, if one donor comes, so the path, you walk there, and then the other donor comes, oh, no, 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 come this side, walk this path, and then they will go different places. This is how the municipality or the public reach nowhere. That's why, yes, leadership may change. Individual is not big thing. Today I am Gopal, tomorrow there might be another mayor. But if you set the goal, then it will take as a common goal, because it is come out of the public demand and the public need, so that the future leaders can also continue the same goal. That is what we clearly think, believe, and suggest to others.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And a quick follow-up. So there is a question from Alex. It was really important to hear perspectives of the mayor, as well as needed shift in power dynamics with development partners. Any reflection on how it changed the engagement of the federal and provincial authorities?
Well, talking about these things, our constitution has clearly envisioned that cooperation, collaboration, and coexistence between three tier of government. If we really translate these principles of coordination, collaboration, and coexistence, everything will be overcome. But then if the federal, provincial, meaning subnational, and the local government work in a true coordination principle, many things will overcome. Dhangadhi, we are very much committed to work in better coordination. So once again, I would like to urge that as per the goal of the constitutional spirit, that coordination can happen between three tier of government, it will be the best result. But then something is missing, that the provincial government has a one goal, federal government has the other goal, and the local government has a different goal as per the contextual need. Because of that different goal setting, we feel little bit discrepancy, little bit disparity between our goal and objectives. And what I also feel is I don't see any coordination and coherence between the province and the local government. Provincial government is in their own way, we are on the other way, you know. So the resources are coming from the federal to the local and provincial, but in the public delivery there are so many problems. As a result, public are not getting so many things, and there is a lot of dissatisfaction from the public to the provincial government. But as constitution has envisioned, if the practicality can catch the constitutional spirit, I think that will be better. We Dhangadhi municipality, we are quite clear in our vision. We don't have any reservation of we do with this, we don't work with them. We are clear vision. As long as people are aligned or the structures are aligned with our vision, we are very open.
Thank you so much, Honorable Mayor. I don't know when was the last time I heard from a mayor of, this word coherence. So it is really music to the ears of at least us as development professionals, to hear about integrated programming, coherence, concrete vision, shared goals. These are words that we generally use as UNDP, but we love to hear this from you. So it is pretty interesting also to hear, how this work has changed the ambition and the way the municipality works. So maybe now, since we have been joined by UNDP Nepal, maybe I can go back to Julian. Julian, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So maybe the question is for you, Julian. So we work in a very, very typical way as UNDP, right? There are different ways in which the portfolio policy is shifting the ways of how UNDP is working with countries. Looking at, the experience that you've had by far with Dhangadhi, if you were to advise fellow DRRs, of how they are navigating their urban portfolio, what would be your top 3 advice for your fellow DRRs?
Okay, well, I'm not going to pretend that I'm an authority on this. I think there's a lot of DRRs around there who have experience in one way or another with portfolio approaches. But I think I would say, well, first, as I said, internal alignment was really important. So to understand, to really make sure that from the UNDP side, we're clear on what we want to achieve, what expertise we can bring, what kind of shifts we can contribute to, and have that internal kind of alignment and sense making first. I think it's really, really important so that we're clear on our vision. And then for us, actually, one key thing, I don't know if this applies everywhere, but for us, a key element was we looked at the local leadership. So here you can see from the mayor, you've just heard from him, there's a very clear vision, a very clear commitment, a vision that's long-term, a clear concept of how to engage with partners, and what local ownership truly means, including the participation of the citizens and the various stakeholders. So for us, I would say criterion number 1 was probably the quality of the leadership and the clarity of vision from the leadership. that we knew that this is something new. Portfolio approach is relatively new. We have to work with people who are open to this and where we feel that we share that vision. So maybe my one piece of advice, if I had only one, would be to really make that a top priority above all else. Then, of course, we look at the technical aspects, the areas we can work in, how we concretely shape these portfolios and how we implement them. There's lots of implementation aspects. But for me, the number one element is the quality of the leadership, especially because this is new and evolving. So if we don't have that alignment and that quality of relationship from the start, then I think we're already fighting a losing battle. It's going to be very difficult. So that's maybe my one piece of advice.
Thanks so much, Julian. I think it is, I'm sure colleagues from the country offices will take back that one piece of advice from the experience that you've shared. Maybe I can ask, this quick question to Mayor Saab. So, oh yes, there is a Doina. So, building on the other question that Alex had asked. So, members of the Nepal Parliament coming from Dhangadhi, are they invited to get involved in Dhangadhi City Hall's decision-making meetings, stakeholder consultations, in developing and implementing the city portfolios so that they can help address any legal issues identified, and on the other hand, help disseminate nationwide Dhangadhi good practices? Maybe we can break this question into two. The first part of the question is, are the members of the Nepal Parliament allowed, invited, involved as observers, to see all of this in Dhangadhi City Halls, these meetings, etc.? Maybe the first question is that, then I'll ask the second part of it.
We only invite those national parliamentarians or the provincial parliament who are elected from our constituency. We invite the member of parliament and the provincial parliament from our constituency only, our election constituency, not from the others. But we have a discussion forum where, to avoid the duplications, so whatever provincial units are there, we are inviting them. The officers, bureaucrats are invited. We also invite the member of parliament, but primarily we invite the members from our election constituency, and we discuss about what are the priority of the Dhangadhi Sub-Metropolitan City. For example, our election constituency is in Kailali district. We have 5 election constituency and we are in constituency number 5. Dhangadhi belongs to the constituency number 5, and we invite all the members of parliament from our constituency, and we fix the priority, which priority need to send to the federal, which need to send to the province, and which priority need to deal by the municipality itself. This is how we have the meeting, but in general things we do not.
Thank you. It is good to know that the members of parliaments only from Dhangadhi are involved. But maybe the second part of question is also more from selfish interest that we have. Do you plan to also disseminate or share your learnings with other parts of Nepal to see if there are other adopters, other cities that would like to learn from you? Is there a plan that you have in your mind to share about how you managed to have this tight fit vision planning and a collaborative partnership that you managed to do here? Do you wish to share it with other city mayors?
We have not shared that to the parliamentarians, but the other municipalities, other city mayors, whenever they are coming to visit us, we are sharing with them, but we have not invited them to see, because they should have need, unless and until they realize the need. For example, if they have realized the need, they will explore who is doing best as per our interest. Then they will find the municipality of Dhangadhi. Because as I said, the way we are developing this partnership with UNDP, because we want to develop Dhangadhi as a learning center. We want to collaborate with so many people, because if you walk alone, you reach nowhere. You need to work together, grow together. For collective benefits, collective ownership and collective implementation is required. That's why we have not invited people to visit us. But if somebody has realized the need and want to really learn from us, we are always open to welcome them. But thank you so much for notifying me. I will take these questions very seriously. Yes, though we have not send the invitation letter to visit us, but if they are genuinely interested to learn as per their needs, we are always open. But thank you so much for that awakening questions. I will take that into consideration in the future.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Also the fact that you are very particular about learn together, grow together. And very important part of what I managed to learn, at least from from you today, is how it is important to have this need-based approach and not going all over to share already from initial set of learning. So really like the way you are doing deep interventions, giving deeper and solid time to the things that that you are doing, so that the results are not just coherent but also scalable. So thank you so much for a very rich learning session. I really enjoyed the experience both from you, Julian, as well as from Honorable Mayor. And definitely I must go back with with one key takeaway, that if we manage to find one champion leader in the government, it is easy for us to crack that nut with one space where it is then easier to scale that approach. So you managed to get that champion in Nepal. So congratulations, and thank you so much everyone for giving time. And we look forward to continue to witness this journey as we move forward. Our team will also continue to share some milestones as we progress. But as a next step of this webinar, we will be sharing an intel with insights that we have learned from this webinar. And this is what we do at the Regional Innovation and Digital team. Our mandate is to make sure we are learning and growing together, like how Honorable Mayor mentioned. So our visions are aligned. Thank you very much once again for your time. Colleagues, hope you enjoyed the learning session, and we look forward to seeing you also in the next one. Thank you so much.
Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you, April.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Julian.